Have you ever sat down to watch a movie and felt like it wasn't as exciting as you expected? Maybe a few years ago you would have loved it, but now something's off, and you're not sure why. Well, you're not alone. A lot of people feel that movies just don't hit the same way anymore, and there are actually some real reasons for that. One of the biggest reasons is that we're constantly bombarded with other people's opinions before we even get a chance to watch the movie ourselves. Think about it. You watch a trailer for a film, and you feel excited, right? But then, before you even watch the movie, you find yourself scrolling through the comments, checking out reviews, and maybe even watching a YouTube breakdown or two. Suddenly, that pure excitement you had is muddled by a bunch of outside voices. Maybe someone didn't like the ending, or someone else points out plot holes. It's hard not to let that influence how you feel when you finally sit down to watch the film. I've experienced this so many times. I'll get pumped after a trailer, but by the time I've read a dozen opinions and seen people tearing the movie apart or overhyping it, my own excitement is shot. In fact, studies show that when people read critical reviews before watching a movie, they enjoy it less. It's crazy how much our minds can be swayed by what others say before we even experience something ourselves. It's like going into a movie already with a pre-formed idea of whether or not it's good, and that can really mess with your own enjoyment. And then there's the issue of how much media we're consuming all the time. I mean, just think about how much content is out there now. We have streaming services like Netflix, YouTube, social media, and everything else flooding us with endless options 24/7. It's like our brains never get a break. Every time we finish one thing, we're already jumping into the next. I used to watch a movie and think about it for days afterward, but now, I finish one and immediately start another, or I'm distracted by my phone, scrolling through Instagram or TikTok while half watching the screen. This constant overload of content can actually dull our enjoyment. It's like eating your favorite food every single day. It's not special anymore. We need a break, and we need to let ourselves breathe between all the media we consume. I once took a week off from watching anything just to reset, and when I finally sat down to watch a movie after that break, it felt so much more enjoyable. I was actually engaged in the story, not just passively consuming it. Sometimes you just need to step back from all the noise and let yourself miss entertainment a little. The other thing we have to talk about is how movies are being made now. I'm not saying all movies are bad these days, but we have to admit that a lot of them feel the same. It's like Hollywood has found this formula that works, and now we get sequel after sequel, or reboots, or superhero movies that are starting to blend together. Studios know what's going to make money, and they churn out films based on that. And honestly, that makes sense from a business perspective, but it doesn't always make for the most exciting or innovative content. I don't know about you, but I feel like when I was younger, movies were more memorable. Part of that is probably because we had fewer options. We weren't watching new content every single day, so the movies we did see stood out more. Plus, as kids, we didn't have as many distractions or external opinions influencing how we saw things. A movie could be just for us, and we didn't need to hear what everyone else thought first. That kind of experience is rare now. And let's be real, nostalgia plays a huge role. When you look back at movies from your childhood, of course they feel more special. You weren't bombarded by hundreds of reviews, breakdowns, and Twitter debates. You weren't watching 4 different shows at the same time. You just sat down and enjoyed the movie for what it was. That simplicity is something we've lost in this era of constant content. Lastly, there's the issue of spoilers and plot breakdowns. These days, you can barely avoid spoilers even if you try. As soon as a movie comes out, the internet is flooded with people dissecting every detail. You might go into a film already knowing how it ends or what the big twist is because it's impossible to avoid. And let's be honest, spoilers ruin the experience. Studies have shown that knowing plot twists beforehand can seriously reduce how much you enjoy a movie. It's not just the big reveals, though. Sometimes knowing too much about the characters, themes, or hidden Easter eggs can also take away from the magic of discovering things for yourself. So, what can we do about all of this? For one, it's important to take a step back. Don't overload yourself with media. Give yourself breaks between watching movies, shows, or scrolling through content online. When you're constantly consuming, nothing feels special anymore. Also, try to avoid reading too many opinions before you watch something. It's fine to get a general sense of whether a movie might be up your alley, but let yourself form your own thoughts. And remember, it's okay to like things other people don't like. Not every movie has to be a masterpiece for you to enjoy it. Sometimes it's enough for a movie to just be fun or relaxing, and that's totally fine. The point of movies is to enjoy them, not to dissect every single frame or to match your opinion with the critics. If something brings you joy, that's what matters.